Welcome to Ballet Bites. Today we're dissecting some of the hottest debates swirling around dance magazine's 2025 25 to watch. We've got three incredible names: Ruby Lister from NYCB, Joseph Markey from ABT, and Enzo Saugar from POB.
I mean, wow. 3 dancers, 3 distinct vibes, Canon classics, contemporary twists, and raw stage presence. It's like watching 3 different stories unfolding at once.
Exactly. Let's kick off by talking about what then makes a breakout in 2025. Is it sticking to a traditional canon, or is it about embracing the new, edgy contemporary styles? After all, Markey's leading a timeless Swan Lake, while Lister's owning that intricate contemporary score grid from Law of Mosaics.
Right. And then there's who channels Béjart's modern fire in Song of a Wayfarer. It's almost like each dancer represents a different script, one built on classical foundations and another on driving modern artistry. It's a multifaceted blueprint.
So, on one hand, you've got the magnetism of a well-known classical piece. Markey's Swan Lake really functions as a megaphone for his talent. His clean lines and princely partnering sort of scream, "I'm here and I'm classical," which still resonates deeply with audiences.
Although I'd say that focusing solely on the canon might limit the narrative. You could argue it sometimes overshadows the fresh, innovative approaches dancers like Lister are taking with complex, almost architectural choreography like Law of Mosaics.
True. And that's the beauty of the debate. The answer isn't an either-or. It's more like a Venn diagram where a breakthrough dancer blends classical technique with a contemporary brain. They need both the classic megaphone and the innovative spirit, right?
Exactly. And speaking of blending, our conversation can't ignore the power of imagery. Look at how each dancer's breakout moment gets immortalized through striking photos. Lister, Markey, Saug, their photos aren't just snapshots. They're symbols of their artistry. Each image is a career-making moment.
Absolutely. In 2025, a single high-contrast image capturing a perfect arabesque or an intentional gaze can be as compelling as a full performance. These visuals are shared, clipped, and then, suddenly, a dancer's artistry is amplified online in seconds.
And it goes beyond just aesthetics, right? It becomes a kind of archival proof, almost like an emblem of their style. But what about the balance? Don't you think relying too much on imagery might risk reducing the depth of performance to a few perfect frames?
That's a fair point. I mean, images are powerful, but if they are everything, then the actual performance risks being secondary. Yet these photos also tell a story. The balance of line, movement, and intention. It's a parallel art form that's become essential with our digital age.
Exactly. It's that dual narrative, the art on stage and the art captured in a frame. This creates an ecosystem where a dancer must be both a performer and a visual storyteller.
Now, shifting gears to another hot topic, pacing. When a dancer's on fire, like being in the 25 to watch list, how fast should promotion move? Too quick and you risk burning out. Too slow and momentum fizzles out. For instance, Lister's case shows there's a smart ladder, stacking complexity before she scales new roles.
Right, pacing is key. Markey's journey with Swan Lake demonstrates that anchoring a season with a strong narrative role pays dividends over time. It's not just about the spotlight, it's about sustained excellence.
And then there's Saugar. Dancing Béjart isn't just a flashy role, it's a test of emotional depth. But by pacing his career right, mixing big debuts with roles that allow him to consolidate his skills, he paces his growth. It's like a musical score, with crescendos and softer passages carefully placed.
It's almost like seasoning in cooking. You need to know when to add the spice and when to let the flavor meld. Fast tracking might risk leaving the audience unsatisfied if they feel it was too rushed.
Exactly. And that dovetails nicely into what we call versatility. Versatility in 2025 isn't just about shifting from one style to another. It's threefold: structural, stylistic, and emotional versatility. Right. Each dancer's arsenal needs to have these layers.
Yeah, Lister's structural fluency really stands out. She's like a musician embedding complex rhythms into movement. But then Markey's all about style, a seamless switch from princely air and classical roles to contemporary subtlety.
And don't forget Saugar. The emotional versatility he brings is crucial. His ability to channel raw force without falling into melodrama is what sets him apart. Yet, I sometimes wonder, should we really expect one dancer to master all three? Or is that an overly harsh standard?
That's a good critique. It might be a bit unrealistic to demand perfection in every single facet. Maybe in reality, each dancer has a signature strength, and the industry should celebrate diverse skill sets. But aspiring dancers are encouraged to stretch themselves across these dimensions for a truly dynamic career.
Absolutely. And isn't it fascinating how cross-pollination among NYCB, ABT, and POB aesthetics is shaping audience expectations? Now, having one breakout name from each institution creates a sort of natural experiment in how these three distinct styles can influence each other.
It's like each company is a different flavor, and when they're all in one basket, audiences start comparing and craving innovation. It also pushes companies to create programming that lets dancers truly cross-train, mixing classical rigor with modern nuance.
Yep, and that comparison fosters a healthy competitive spirit. This cross-pollination not only drives higher standards, but invites audiences to see the art in a new light. Plus, it ramps up the pressure on coaches to be translators of styles.
Yeah, exactly. And that brings us to a final, nice, round conclusion. The future of ballet is not a single path. It's a portfolio. Dancers need classical equity, contemporary innovation, and dramatic dividends. It's like building a diversified fund with your technique.
I love that analogy. Building your technique as if you're investing in a portfolio. Each role, each photograph, each lesson from renowned choreographers builds your capital as an artist.
And if I could drop a final lightning round, one sentence each, what's the key takeaway a young dancer should copy from these three stars? I'll start with Markey. Treat partnering as storytelling because your generosity on stage defines you.
Great. For Lister, practice precision until it turns into natural ease, and let your musicality speak louder than any solo note.
And from Saugar, cultivate that stage presence so deeply that every move, every pause, carries its own weight, a genuine dialogue without words.
So, the bottom line is clear. Whether it's through a celebrated classical performance, a revolutionary contemporary act, or an emotionally charged presence, tomorrow's breakout dancer is sculpted by a mix of technique, vision, and a dash of that stage magic.
Absolutely. And by embracing both the old and the new, these artists truly dance their way into the future. If you're a dancer or a devotee, isn't it wild how one moment can define a career?
Exactly. And as we wrap up this conversation, remember, each photograph, each show, each rehearsal is contributing to a mosaic of ambition and artistry. This multifaceted approach is what makes ballet in 2025 so electrifying.
Right, it's a pas de deux of ideas and practice, and both are equally important on this global stage. Thanks for diving into these debates with me.
Thank you. If you enjoyed this exploration of the dynamic world of ballet, pass it along to your favorite rehearsal buddy or dance enthusiast. Let's keep the conversation alive both on stage and off.
Yes, indeed. Share your thoughts, questions, and even a little critique on our format. We value every piece of feedback. It's all part of our dance.
And with that, let's sign off. Here's to tomorrow's stars who already dance like they're living in the future. Catch you all next time on Ballet Bites.